Well, John, usually in a new signing interview, I'd welcome the player to Meadow Lane, but these are familiar surroundings for you, aren't they?
Yeah, I've been at the club for the last few weeks. Getting to grips with the setup, the manager, the players, and yeah, it really feels like home. So,
how did you first come here? What happened?
I mean, since the summer, I've been waiting for my next opportunity in terms of clubs, projects, and there's been some interesting offers over the period. And this is a decision that had a lot of factors going into it, footballing project, manager, style of play, also, being settled for my family as well. So, County came in and said, look, come in and train. I was training at Forest for three and a half months, which is brilliant for me. But when County said come in and train, I thought, okay, let's go and have a look. And I came in and honestly, I was blown away. Literally blown away by the professionalism, the manager, the footballing knowledge, and just the direction of the club. It's something that I had to consider very quickly.
You're obviously a player that's played in elite environments, overseas and in the UK. When you say that you were blown away by here, is that because standards sort of matched other clubs that you've been at, or is it because we're doing things differently, or what was sort of a standout for you?
I think it's a mix of the two, really. You can tell there's a unique approach here, which is really refreshing. It's almost like the new age of football, and just not just from the board downwards, but it's the actual hands-on, the training, the meetings, the professionalism with the medical staff. It's I know the fans will know this, but this club should not be where they are, and I see that. And not only do I see that there is plans in place for the club to be at a higher level and beyond that. So, and also on the pitch as well. Working with the gaffer over the last few weeks, I can't really say I've worked with a gaffer like that before in my career. His football knowledge, the way he sees the game, the way he sticks by what he believes is right, regardless of what challenges come. It's very attractive and something I want to be a part of.
As you say, you've been around the place for a few weeks. How soon into that sort of spell did you start to seriously consider this as potentially the place that you wanted to commit your future to?
I think off the back, to be honest with you, you don't know what to expect. I'm a player who strives to play at the highest level that I can play, but also you have to think of and see projects. You have to see a little bit into the future and see the direction or where you feel like a club's going. And so it took a couple of days just to see and just to sit back and learn and just take it all in. But when after speaking to my family and just considering where I want to be for the foreseeable, it just made a lot of sense, and the club showed a good desire to get me in as well, which is great. And I just want to get playing, and help in terms of push that project as well. So I'm here to help and be a part of that.
Did you have any other offers?
Yeah, there are other offers. So I was at Doncaster last season, and I desired to try and stay in League One minimum because the club went down. Unfortunately, a great time there. But for whatever reason, although there was a lot of clubs speaking, nothing materialised. So the waiting game came. You train, you just stay prepared. Also, some very interesting offers from abroad as well. But as a family, that's not something that we consider at this stage. And yeah, previously to today, there was very strong offers from leagues above. But when I looked at the next couple of years and just the feel of the club, the feel of the style of play, and just my desire as well, I just felt like this was the right move for me.
You say you can't wait to get going, playing. Where are you physically? How far away do you think you are from coming on as a sub or starting a game?
I think I'm pretty close. As I mentioned, I have to give credit to the club across the river because they gave me access to train with the under-21s for 3 months, which is brilliant because when you're not with a club, it's tough to stay motivated to train by yourself every single day. So training with them was brilliant. And also the last 3 weeks at County has set me in really good stead. So working with the the fitness staff here and the medical staff's been brilliant. So, I'm ready to train and keep going. And whenever the manager sees fit, I'll do my best whenever called upon.
Everyone obviously knows the sort of the core skills that you've got. But I presume that you have evolved as a player over the course of your career. You're 30 now, is that right?
Yeah.
How would you define yourself now? Because I spoke to Luke Williams yesterday about you, and he was saying that we have so many different central midfield systems that we've deployed, even subtle changes, that it's unlikely that he's going to pigeonhole you into one particular role. So what would you say are your key attributes and what you sort of really enjoy about football?
I think if I was to describe myself, I'd probably say I'm a deep line creative midfielder. So I thrive off breaking lines, really trying to turn defence into attack very quickly, and trying to really help in controlling the team's possession, and trying to make it very difficult for the opposition to get a foothold in the game. But just breaking lines, trying to find the offensive players, and also fancy myself having efforts at goal from distance as well. So I think working with the manager and seeing, like you mentioned, like there is, he really can switch it up. So I have to be flexible, but I'm confident in my qualities, and whatever way that suits the team best, I'm happy to serve.
You've seen us play. You've obviously trained. You've been in lots of team meetings. You've obviously seen that we're top of the National League. We're in a massive battle with not only Wrexham, several other clubs I'm sure will come strong throughout the season. Is that all part of the project for you, playing in a team that plays in sort of speech marks the right way, but also really fighting for a big challenge?
Yeah, it is a fight. I think it's an extremely difficult league to get out of, and I think not only do we know that here, but also other clubs know that, and a lot of clubs throw in the kitchen sink at the project to try and get back in the Football League. And it's going to be tough, but when you've started the way that County have started this season, you give yourself the best chance. Not even chance, because it's not by luck that we're in this position. And I believe if we continue to do the right things, which all signals are that we're going to keep doing that, hopefully in time there'll be some distance, and it's in our hands. So working with the gaffer and assistant Ryan and the other staff, you see that they leave nothing to chance. Everything's is calculated and thought of. So I'm sure that the team will be equipped to go all the way by coming into the season.
You're going to get to know your teammates a lot better now that you've obviously committed your future to Notts. But I just wonder, in terms of, not expecting to name individuals, but just in terms of the people that you've been working with sort of on a par as a player, like the level of quality and experience that you see around you, what's your general take on the squad and in your sort of early time at Notts?
I think the quality is really high, and I think fans and not only fans, but different clubs really can see the quality in the squad. I see a young, hungry team with a good mix of experience who believe in the process. And one thing I find really not enjoyable, but it's really positive to see, is there's no ego here. I know the manager speaks about that, and sometimes that selfish ambition can look attractive on the pitch sometimes, but actually if you look at the actual direction of the train, sometimes it can pull the train back from getting to where it needs to get to. So there's a wonderful balance of good characters here, like really good, humble characters who have a lot of quality they can bring to the team, and I've been really impressed. We do a lot of 11v11 work in training, and the games are really competitive and difficult. It's like both teams, who's going to win. That just shows the depth of the squad as well. So yeah, I've been really pleasantly surprised, and I think I think working here as well, I want to improve. I'm 30, but I want to learn. I want to try and add bits to my game as well. So I believe I can do that here.
You're about to go and train for the first time as a Notts County player now. How different is that to the experience that you've had in the sessions that you've already done here versus now as a fully signed Notts midfielder?
I don't know. I've not done it yet, so I have to go and train. But no, training is something that I love to do, especially when the sessions are enjoyable and there's a real method behind the process. So no, this is my I think it's my 15th club, and 15 is my favourite number. So I'm hoping that, you know, come the end of the season there'll be, you know, reason to celebrate. But I'll take each session as it comes. It sounds cliche, each game as it comes, but I'm hoping that, you know, with some of my experience, I can help the younger players as well, and together we can achieve something.
You've had a fascinating career. People can go and read all about it online. We've done a write-up on our website about you. The stuff that really interests me at this stage is after you left Spurs, you went abroad, and that's quite a brave move in itself. But from what I saw, it really paid off. So can you just sort of summarise your time playing in Europe and some of your happiest moments and some of the experiences from there that you bring into your current sort of position as a footballer?
Moving on the continent, so leaving the comfort zone of home, England, it was probably one of the best decisions of my footballing career, to be fair. It's like a restart. I needed, you know, to come out of the whole pressure of what people expected of me as a young player, and just to play, just to learn the game and play and enjoy it. So yeah, I learned so much about not just the game but myself as a character, and you know, I learned my qualities as a player, because I think up until 21 I hadn't played more than 10 games in a season, and most of them were out on loan, out of position. So to go and move to, first it was Belgium, I had a really successful time, you know, and I absolutely loved it, and I would have liked to have stayed even longer abroad, but for family reasons we had to come back, which we're really glad we've done. But 6.5 years, you know, my wife sacrificed it, away from family, away from friends, and it was a wonderful experience. And to any young player who has the opportunity to try and experience that, you know, if the time's right, it's something that they should consider.
And most recently with Donny, obviously it didn't end the way you wanted it to in terms of relegation, but I suppose that's valuable experience coming into this move, seeing sort of football at that level back in the UK. You know, what experience did you take from that?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it at Doncaster. Even previously to that, I was on loan at Forest, and so, you know, being involved in a setup back in England after so many years, it was nice. It was positive, you know. It's a shame, you know, we couldn't keep the club up at Doncaster, but you know, they're another club who tried to play the right way. So, but you know, there are quite a few changes of managers and you know, a bit of instability there, and so unfortunately the club, through injuries and whatnot, they paid a price, and so I'm excited to see, you know, with the process here, you know, the stability of the owners. I think they're doing a fantastic job, and those in the board as well. Like, they have, it seems like there's a plan, you know, and so no, I've enjoyed being back in England, and hopefully I'm going to enjoy it even more.
So here you are at Meadow Lane. You've signed your contract. What would be success for you?
So success for me would be, come the end of the season, we'll be out of this league as champions, and doing it the right way. Of course, that's down the line, but I think my immediate success is to give my all for the club, fight for the shirt, fight for the badge, and enjoy the process of winning the right way.
And it is going to be a fight for the shirt, because some of the competition that you've got in midfield, we see Jim O'Brien came back into the squad at Scunthorpe and he was absolutely superb. It's not going to be easy, is it, for you to walk into this team?
No, absolutely, and that's why I said, you know, I'm happy to help, you know, the project and help push. Of course, I'm hungry to play. Of course, I want to, you know, start every week, but so does everyone else, you know. And I realise that it's a long journey, a lot of games. So, of course, I've got to get up to match fitness as well. But you know, whenever feel like I'm in a good place, you know, I'll be available for selection, and the gaffer's got his job to do of picking the team that he thinks best for every single game. So I'll get ready as soon as I can, and yeah, I'll push for the club.